Good evening. My name is Chris Ewing, and I want to welcome everybody to another modified version of the Hope Film Series. And I just want to kind of start off our time tonight by kind of explaining why we're here tonight and the reason why we give to the Hope Film Series. And the Hope Film Series, of course, for those who have attended in the past, intends to raise awareness for the Marcus Ewing Memorial Fund that provides support for Shiloh's mentoring program known as High Def. And the reason why we're doing it tonight is because today's November 30th, and today my brother would have been 39 because today's his birthday. But since he can't be with us tonight to celebrate, we intend to use our time to advocate for those things that mattered most to Marcus, education and kids. And again, my name is Chris, and I am Marcus's older brother. For myself, I first came to experience the unconditional love of Shiloh in the summer of 2000. And in all, I spent 6 summers serving as a camp counselor for Shiloh. I am forever grateful for the countless ways Shiloh not only changed my life, through the enduring friendships that I made with the children of Greater New York City and Bridgeport, Connecticut, that I met there. And Shiloh also really redeemed my relationship with Marcus as well, because as brothers, we definitely battled a lot, argued a lot, but it was at Shiloh that we realized that we had more in common than we had differences between us. Because we both at Shiloh learned that we both had an immense desire to help children find a way out of their anger and their depression. We discovered we both possessed a fierce compulsion to convince the children at Shiloh of Jesus's ability to direct the Holy Spirit to redeem the brokenness in them and around them. And if you are familiar with the Hope film series, then again, you know that we lost Marcus in October of 2010. And yet by God's grace and through the power of the Spirit, those who love Marcus strive to cherish new blessings amidst that enduring loss. And while everyone comes to know grief differently, everyone eventually reaches the same conclusion. And that conclusion being that we cannot carry the overwhelming weight of our heartache by ourselves, that our abilities alone prove unable to clear out those boulders of immense loss from our path. Therefore, all of us stand in urgent need of something greater than ourselves that demonstrates the ability to soothe that heartache and to get those stones out of the way. And for those who believe, that something is actually a someone, Christ himself. And last year we were blessed with my good friends Susan Schaefer, Abigail, Sophia, and Rosie to perform a collection of songs that spoke to that enduring truth. Today I've asked another very talented friend from the youth group at my church to perform a couple of songs tonight. First, Brooklyn Porter will perform Great Are You, Lord. And I have no doubt that you will be blessed by it. So let me pull up Brooklyn here, and let's give Brooklyn our attention.
You give life, you are love, you bring light to the darkness, you give hope, you restore every heart that is broken. Great are you, Lord. It's your breath in our lungs, so we pour out our praise, pour out our praise. It's your breath in our lungs, so we pour out our praise to you only. Great are you, Lord. You give life, you are love, you bring light to the darkness, you give hope, you restore every heart that is broken. And great are you, Lord. It's your breath in our lungs, so we pour out our praise, we pour out our praise. It's your breath in our lungs, so we pour out our praise to you only. It's your breath in our lungs, so we pour out our praise, we pour out our praise. It's your breath in our lungs, so we pour out our praise to you only. Great are you, Lord. All the earth will shout your praise. Our hearts will cry. These bones will sing. Great are you, Lord. And all the earth will shout your praise. Our hearts will cry. These bones will sing. Great are you, Lord. And all the earth will shout your praise. Our hearts will cry. These bones will sing. Great are you, Lord. All the earth will shout your praise. Our hearts will cry. These bones will sing. Great are you, Lord. It's your breath in our lungs, so we pour out our praise. We pour out our praise. It's your breath in our lungs, so we pour out our praise to you only. Great are you, Lord.
Thank you, Brooklyn, so much for that. That was really, really good. Now, for those who have not attended a Hope Film Series before, you're probably asking, what exactly is the Hope Film Series? Well, more than just a time to get together and watch a movie. Again, the Hope Film Series is really to raise money for the High Def Mentoring Program in New York City. High Def aims to enrich the lives of teenage children with unceasing love and unrelenting encouragement supplied to them by their incredible mentors. The Hope Film Series intends to see this enrichment and continue for generations, hopefully, with the support of the Marcus Ewing Memorial Fund. But why movies? It's a good question. So the reason this fundraising effort took the form of a movie screening was in part in tribute to Marcus's love of movies. And over the years living in New York City, I think Marcus probably spent a couple $1,000s going to movies while he lived there. And for myself, I've always been intrigued by the notion of conversations that might come about in a group of people after watching a good movie together. Sadly, most movies today aim only to satisfy some base urge for violence or sex. But every once in a while, you come across a movie that motivates you to be a better person or makes you question the validity of your past assumptions. And since 2011, movies presented at the Home Film Series have included Waiting for Superman, Field of Dreams, Freedom Riders, Hoosiers, The Address, Rabbit Proof Fence, He Named Me Malala, Rocky Balboa, and Apollo 13. Now, as the world continues to confront the spread of COVID and its variants, the Hope Film Series has transitioned to this online format in an effort to promote and support quality education for all children, despite the formidable obstacles that come with living through pandemic. And again, we're here tonight again, because again, today is Marcus's birthday. And we felt that this was a good way to honor his birthday by coming together to share not only about Shiloh, but about High Def, but also about our own love of education and the way that it has impacted our lives. And before we get to our speakers, I think I'll speak to that as well. because I went to Lipscomb University, graduate from 1999 to 2003, and then went on to get my master's at University of Alabama, Birmingham. And for myself, as I look back on that decision to go to college, I realized that what sets my resume apart when I am looking for a job or to advance my career, the first thing that a lot of employers look at is education. You know, where did they go to school? So I feel like it really does help my, I guess, competitive advantage by having those degrees. That really sets myself apart having done that. So I have no regrets about the time, energy, and money that it took to get those degrees, because even if I'm not necessarily using those degrees as far as what I do now, I definitely know that those degrees have helped me to get me to where I'm at today. So that's why education is important to me. And tonight we're going to be hearing from a couple of adults and a couple of teenagers as far as speaking to their experiences with Shiloh, kind of where they came to know Shiloh, and also, again, their own education journey. I know where they're at now in that journey and where they hope to go. So tonight we're going to start first with a good friend of mine who I met in 2003 when I lived in New York City. Her name is Jennifer, and she's going to introduce herself and kind of explain how she's connected to Shiloh and, again, what education means to her. So Jennifer?
Thank you, Chris. And I'd like to just say I'm honored to be a part of this series that you've created for Marcus and raising money for the kids of Shiloh. I currently serve on the board of Shiloh for about 4 years, and I primarily work in fundraising, specifically in our Night of Hope event, which is our big charity event that we do every year. And I'm associated with Shiloh. Basically, I attended this event, Night of Hope, on the very first one about 15 years ago, and thought it was a great event. I attended on a free ticket. And after 1 year, I was like, well, I'm going to buy myself a ticket next year, and have attended every year since. And the year I really fell in love with the event was a year that 3 girls who I knew that were part of the High Def program received book scholarships at Night of Hope. And I just thought it was the most amazing thing, and knew that I wanted to be involved even more than just attending the event. Thankfully, I was then asked to join the committee and started helping plan the event, and then started planning it as the chair and co-chair, and eventually was asked to join the board for Shiloh, where I'm honored to, work for the families of Shiloh and raise money the best that I can. I went to school about not quite 20 years ago to Abilene Christian University, and looking back, thinking about the things that were very important to me, I can think of 2 main things, from where I'm sitting today. And one of the very first things is just having the opportunity to a long transition from being a kid to being an adult. When I left my house and, moved 5 hours away, I was a kid. I mean, I felt like I was a big person, but I wasn't. And I had 4 years to kind of work within a structured environment where I was doing my own thing. I was responsible for myself, but I also had people supporting me, teachers that were supporting me, parents that had set up a structure within, payment of everything where I was making money, but also I knew that I just had people around me that could be helpful. And then 4 years later, I was able to graduate and become that adult that I had been working to be. And support myself, move and move on. And that was a great experience to have that opportunity. And that was, that's unique to me, but there's a lot of differences in that, in that time period, where you can have just a growing experience. And the other thing that actually really did change my life is at college, I met one person who believed in me and helped me get my very first job in New York City. I was in school in Texas. I wanted to move to New York, and I wanted to work, and I wanted to be successful. And this person helped me do that. And at the time, I did not realize that. I thought, oh, I got this job on my own. I am very smart. And of course, I had to be right for the job, but it was really because someone believed in me. And I wouldn't live in New York City today if I wouldn't have had that opportunity. I wouldn't be a part of Shiloh. I wouldn't have been introduced to Shiloh, and I wouldn't have the life and the family that I have. And so, at the time, I didn't realize that those things were happening for me, but they were very formative things. On top of just the opportunity to make lifelong friends and experiences, and people that, you get to know forever. Thank you, Chris, for the opportunity to share that with you guys.
Thank you so much, Jennifer. That was great. That was really a great reminder that we don't get anywhere by ourselves, that it takes people to invest in us. Absolutely. Great. Okay, so next is someone I actually met as a camper at Shiloh, I guess 20 years ago or more now. But she has definitely grown from a camper to a responsible, successful adult. So I want to introduce everybody to my really great friend, Angela. And she's going to talk about, where Shiloh's at today, in the midst of pandemic, and also, again, her own relationship to Shiloh, and again, what her own education journey was like. So, Angela?
Thank you, Chris. Hello, everyone. I am Angela Ella. I am currently the assistant camp director and the program coordinator for High Def. I have the wonderful journey through Shiloh, starting with actually being a camper. And then I became a CIT, and I did a very, 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 very brief stint as a counselor. And I ran their kitchen. I was their youth counseling director, and here I am today as their assistant camp director. I found my way to Shiloh through the Buddy Mentor program in Bridgeport, Connecticut. It was started by the Stanford Church of Christ, and they sponsored a bunch of us to start this program. And some of the board members for Shiloh happened to be volunteer mentors for the Buddy Mentor program. And so we all got connected, and we got a couple of scholarships in the beginning. And ever since, we've just been going back and going back and going back because it's a good place. Right now, Shiloh is fighting the good fight and working through this pandemic with our community. This year for High Def, we've been in person and virtual, but we're now leaning more towards just being in person with a partnership that we have at Lennox Coffee in Harlem. They let us use their store every Wednesday right now after their shop hours end. And so that's been wonderful, because when I first pitched to the group that we would be partially in person, they were excited. And then after the first 2 weeks, they're like, I believe we will keep each other safe, and we should be in person all the time. And so we're in person, but we still sit in our little booths with our masks, and we eat and we commune together. And it's just everything that we missed, we have back a little bit. Just speaking about education and my hopes for all those that get to come through the high def program. Um, I hope that we're showing and walking with them in a way that shows the value of education. Um, and it's not just a college education, it could be with a trade. Um, we just hope that we're showing that there is a value other than the way that we come from our neighborhoods. Um, my experience getting into school was weird. Um, I'm one of 6 kids, and so my parents did the tried and true method of we're going to test out each type of school. And so I have 2 older brothers. One went to a public school, the other one went to a technical school, and then the last option was for me to try a private. And after us getting through and my younger siblings coming up, they're like, all right, cool. Looks like public school wins. So shout out to a public school education. I missed it, but y'all out there, we love it. Um, and so we're going through and we're starting the college process as well. And I'm actually the first of my parents' children to go through and get a degree. Um, and I decided to go to college because I looked around Bridgeport, Connecticut, and I realized that I could do more. Um, and I can do more for my communities. And the best way for me to do more was to learn more and educate myself so I can go back and help children that come through the high def program be more educated and see that they can also be more. Um, I believe it's important to support efforts like this, like what Shiloh does with high def. Because first off, what else are you gonna do? Sit around, do nothing? Not a good look. Um, but high def is something worth supporting because it's putting your money, your prayers, and your hard work towards uplifting another community and helping them see a way in the world that is more helpful to others. That's it. That's all I got, yo.
Okay, well, thank you so much, Angela. That's great. Thank you for that update of how high def has been able to kind of overcome the barriers of a pandemic. And now we're going to listen to some actual benefits of that program. And we'll first hear from Christopher Estrella, who I refer to as Little Chris, because we both have the same name. So it helps people when we're on the same Zoom calls or in the same place. I go by Big Chris or Old Chris, and this is Little Chris. So Little Chris is going to tell us about where he's at in his school journey, and again, what high def means to him. So Chris, take it away.
Hi, I'm Christopher Estrella, aka Little Chris. I'm a senior at AECI Charter High School, and school is easy for me right now, but we're gonna push to go further and go into college. My hopes is to get into Fordham or Syracuse University and major in biology, then go to dentistry school and become an orthodontist. Why I want to become an orthodontist is because I want to help many other people who I'm not necessarily going to say not appreciate how they look, but they want to make themselves look better. I want to help others. I want to help my family get out of this neighborhood because the place that I'm growing up in right now, it's not too well made. I'm not gonna lie. I want to help my parents get out of here basically. And Shiloh has been helping me out a lot. Shiloh and high def, because when we was at Shiloh, I would always never have like a dull moment, and there were always people to like teach me the rights and wrongs of life, and like they're my mentors basically. I'm not even gonna say the people at Shiloh are like regular people. They are my family basically. High def has also been helping us out like majorly because there's always checkups. We always talk about how have you seen God and stuff like that. There's always somebody there to talk to. if you're having a like rough day, there would always be someone there to talk to you and like help you out, push you through it, and like give you some advice or support. There's so much diversity in Shiloh and High Def because um everybody is welcomed. Like you could come in even for like one day and we'll welcome you, we will support you and we'll help you out. Uh I feel very blessed to be a part of this community. I was going to be a CIT, but unfortunately because of the pandemic, that had to be canceled. But what we did do, like before the pandemic hit, we did mission trips to help others out. Like for example, we went to Panama Beach um, to help the people that were hit by Hurricane Michael. We supported them. We helped rebuild their houses and stuff like that, and we made things. We made sure things were straight and good. Um, I want to help out and like push through like with college and get my school done. I'm in first honors in my school because all I want to do is help my parents and my loved ones. I always want to be there for someone and also like I'm I feel like me myself as a person, I always go and help others more than I like help myself. And that sounds kind of bad and also good at the same time, but that's just who I am. I like to help others. I like to be there for people. School, people at school, they could be really tough and intense at times, but I know like I would always have somebody to turn to. If I need help with homework, I know that High Def, since it's in every Wednesday, I could go in, do my work, and ask for help. Because we have so many people that know so many things. There would be bound to be someone to help you out with something that you don't know. High Def is like the top priority for me too, because I always like I never want to miss out on a day of High Def. If I'm like doing something, if I'm, for example, if I have to go to a doctor's appointment or something, I would let them know like I'm gonna miss out on that day, and I'll feel bad. My family loves High Def also. Like my mom, she's like a big fan. She loves Angela. I'm not gonna lie, and yeah, basically, High Def was a big like support in my life. There's never a dull moment with High Def. Thank you.
Great, Chris. Thank you so much for sharing your experiences and your plans for college and being an orthodontist. That's going to be great when you get there. Thank you. But again, thank you so much for sharing. And our last speaker tonight is Alyssa. And Alyssa also has a lot of High Def experiences to share. And also, again, just where her own education journey is at and where she hopes to go. And then after Alyssa speaks, we'll have one more song to play and also tell you how you can contribute to this effort in supporting High Def mentoring. So Alyssa.
Hello. My name is Alyssa Florence. Everybody called me Munch in Shiloh. I'm 21 and I go to school at Maroon College in New Rochelle. I was a camper for many years. I got into Shiloh by Yanni Lewis and also Kavina, and I met Angela, and I love Angela. She gives me all the tough love that I need. After camper, I turned into CIT working with Tyler, Maddie, and so other Asia as well. And it was a great experience. Being a CIT made me learn about making money the right way, also loving kids and figuring out how the brain works, and also how to love who I was and take a time and a break to figure out how God is really great to me. Throughout that experience, it taught me how to pray. It taught me how to teach other kids that there's certain ways to deal with situations. And before COVID hit, the year before COVID hit, I was a counselor as a first year counselor, and it was an amazing experience. I loved my Coco to death. I technically didn't want her to be my Coco, but I was glad that she was chosen as my Coco because she was the best team player for me. She helped me mentally and physically when I was tired. Me and her scratched each other's backs. I loved her to death. The kids there are amazing. All the staff members are amazing. And when I found out about how deaf, it's a program in New York about helping youth kids grow up in a good environment and having fun and being themselves and not feeling like they have to hide themselves for acceptance. And it was so fun to be in high def with them, hanging out with them, seeing them every Wednesday, and getting to know them more every single day. And it's a blessing to know all of them and seeing them every single Wednesday, smile at me and hug at me and everything else. So that's fun.
Great, Alyssa, thank you so much. And I apologize for grouping you in with the teenagers as a 21-year-old. But again, thank you so much for sharing your Shiloh experiences and again, the way that it changed how not only you saw the world, but how you saw yourself. And that's the hope for definitely the kids who attend high def as well. So tonight we've had the opportunity to learn more about Shiloh, about high def, and its ability to affect growth and change in the lives of children. And if you yourself are willing and able to support this effort, then the Hope Film Series would like to offer 2 ways of contributing to this powerful work at high def. And let me just pull these up. So the first way is through the Shiloh website online. And here is the information to get there. It's basically shilohnyc.org, and then you can find the donate tab there. And when you get into the donation portion of the website, there's an option to not only put in any amount that you want. It doesn't have to be any of those designations. You can designate your own amount to donate. And then there is a tab for in memory or honor of, and that's where you can enter in the Marcus Ewing Memorial Fund, and that is the designation for high def funds. So Shiloh knows to dedicate those funds to high def when you choose the Marcus Ewing Memorial Fund designation. And again, those funds go to help pay for college visits, for ACT prep, for tutoring, for resume building, and anything else that can help the children of high def in their education journey. So again, this is how you donate online. And again, feel free to rewind it back if you need to refer back to it. But they make it really easy. And again, you can donate whatever you would like. There's no minimum, there's no maximum. It's whatever you would like to donate. And then for those who still use the check method, you can also donate via check. And in this case, you would just make the check out to Shiloh. And in the memo section, you would put the Marcus Ewing Memorial Fund so that Shiloh knows to give those funds to high def. And you'll see the mailing address for Shiloh and its P.O. box in New York City. So this is just another way that one can donate to the work at Shiloh through high def. And again, feel free to refer back to this later if you need to. And so I'll just leave this up here for one more second. So again, either donating on the Shiloh website or via a personal check. And again, always making sure to designate the Marcus Ewing Memorial Fund with your donation so that Shiloh knows to give those funds to the high def program. And while my family is most appreciative for every dollar that's donated, the Hope Film Series primary concern remains that which Marcus cared most about. And Marcus's chief concern did not reside so much in the amount of money that one raised for a child, but rather the amount of time one gave to that child. And because a child only senses hope when she or he feels valued. And if cynical and cranky adults prove unable to fix this world that we live in, then Marcus and I both believe that any prospect for a better future ultimately rests in hope-filled children. And also, I would encourage any adult who may be watching tonight to consider the reasons for any achievement or success she or he has experienced. Because like Jennifer was alluding to, I think, can any of us adults really claim to have done it all by ourselves? Or is it more likely that somewhere someone sacrificed their time and money so that you and I might transcend the assumptions of others, or even the expectations for ourselves? And with that, we've come to the end of the presentation tonight. But before we go, there's one more song I wanted to play for us. This song speaks to one other desire Marcus had for any child he came to know and love. And it was a yearning for them not to define themselves by their circumstances or their mistakes, but instead come to see themselves as a child of God, first and foremost. So one more time, let's give our attention to Brooklyn as she reminds all of us of all that God has done so that we might not treat each other as strangers or adversaries, but instead cherish each other as a sister or a brother. So let's give our attention to Brooklyn.
You unravel me with a melody. You surround me with a song of deliverance from my enemies. Till all my fears are gone, and I'm no longer a slave to fear. I am a child of God, and I'm no longer a slave to fear. I am a child of God. You have chosen me. Love has called my name. I've been born again into your family. Your blood flows through my veins, and I'm no longer a slave to fear. I am a child of God. I'm no longer a slave to fear. I am a child of God. I'm no longer a slave to fear. I am a child of God. I'm no longer a slave to fear. I am a child of God. I am surrounded by the arms of the Father. I am surrounded with songs of deliverance. We've been liberated from our bondage. We're the sons and the daughters. Let us sing our freedom. Oh, oh, you split the sea so I could walk right through it. My fears are drowned in perfect love. You rescued me so I could stand and say, I am a child of God. You split the sea so I could walk right through it. My fears are drowned in perfect love. You rescued me so I could stand and say, I am a child of God. I am a child of God. Yes, I am a child of God. I am a child of God.
Well, thank you everybody for watching, and of course, happy birthday, Marcus.